That's going to be the thumbnail.
Yeah, I know. I do like how we do that.
I do that. You don't do that. I do that.
Yeah, I think you missed it that time, but we'll see.
No, hopefully I didn't. I don't know.
Right.
It normally takes it right before we go live, so.
Oh, even better. All right, we'll let the room build up, and hopefully everybody has their frustrations out from the Legends Tour.
Hey.
Oh, God.
So when you load it, that'll be the...
It's out from... Oh. You don't need that.
Don't be pushing buttons.
I know.
What up, Reagan? Kevin? Mr. James Whittaker's in the room. What's going on, everybody?
I think I'll use a Silverado as a prop.
Yeah. They had a different T-shirt this time.
Did they?
There are 2 different T-shirts, and there was another bundle that had a new hat and a like a keychain lanyard.
Oh, yeah.
So we got a good show tonight. We're digging out some old school.
Yeah.
2014 stuff.
Well, even older than that.
Well, for me, most of this is, I think most of this is 14, 12.
Yeah, it starts in 12. All right, everyone.
13. Yeah.
Well, it's been a crazy couple of nights. I mean, ducking for cover, looking at all the broken branches and everything like that. And then, you know, a wild, crazy Legends Tour. Everything, I guess, sold out in 2 minutes.
Well, that was the bundle with the Dodge and the Legends Tour hauler.
Well, if you're popping in, come say hi. We'll say hi back to you.
What's going on, James? Hot Wheel Hunter's in the room. Mr. Alex Flores, what's up?
Hey, Alex, how are you? It's good to see you again, sir. Oh, let's see what else we got. Well, we got some things in Norfolk this Sunday. We got some Murph heavy breathing.
Yep, I can hear the Murph.
Yeah, we love you, babies. Let's see. So this Sunday in Norfolk at Lutheran High Northeast, starting at 9 a.m., the Northeast Nebraska Farm Toy Show is going on. It is at, like I said, Lutheran High Northeast. That's I don't have an exact address on the flyer, but it's just north of 37th Street and Benjamin Avenue, and you'll head north like from there. There's a big sign on the road, and there'll be signs out front for everybody, so we'll go with that. Oh, who's stuck in Atlanta?
That would be Mr. Alex. And howdy, Joseph.
That's what I thought. So, you know, it's a couple bucks to get in, $3 to get in, 12 and over. Everybody else is free. 2010 North 37th Street. We did put the share it all out to everybody and a couple of folks over in the Iowa and on the Sioux Diecast page. So we've got old, new Farm Toys, Hot Wheels, semi-trucks, and 6-door prizes drawn at 11, 1, and 3. There's also food available. It's a nice, let me see. It's a nice facility up there. Yes, I think we're going with the auto closed captions tonight. I don't think.
Hey, as long as I don't freeze up like I did last week, that's all I care about.
So, what did everybody think of the Legends Tour tonight? I don't know if we want to open that can of worms.
Boo on my end.
Now, I was busy putting cars away for Sunday, so that tells you where my priorities were.
Yeah. I tried, failed, happens.
I think I'm going to resort to the secondary market at some point once it cools down a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody got any questions about Norfolk this weekend, Sunday? Again, at Lutheran High Northeast on 37th Street between Eisenhower Avenue and Benjamin Avenue. The exact address is 2010 North 37th. It's been shared out, so there you go. Brent, you got anything for us tonight?
Well, I was just going to mention to everybody that the show this weekend, I know PJ's going and you're going, but just in case you guys don't know this, I'm not going. And the collection that me and him sell, that's here. So he's bringing his own personal stuff. So he might have something that's older school that you guys are looking for. So
definitely got a lot of the Johnnies are going up again. I found some more too. So, right. And Phil Griggs is going to be there as well too. So yeah, let's not forget Phil. He always has a good wide variety. Where
Jesse,
was it?
That's Jesse Smith, and that's a really good question. There, if you go onto the internet and you just basically type in like Walmart/Legends Tour, it'll pop up there, and it literally sells out in about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I don't know why. I don't think they're releasing very many at a time, but yeah, you have to go to the Walmart Legends or the Walmart pretty much .com/Legends Tour is what I think it is.
I think we need to find that link and get that pinned up there like we have for the Chevy truck. So we'll get that up there for everybody. Sorry, the puppy had to be released.
Of course. Inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside.
Well, that's
the dog mentality. Sorry, I'm playing with a micro machine.
So the other news we have is if things go well and they still are tracking for this way.
Ooh, that's a long one. There you go. Thanks,
there you go, Kevin.
I'll be right back.
If things go the way they're supposed to, and what we were told by our friends in Baltimore, cars should ship on Monday, which means they'll be here in time for regionals. And I think the tentative plan for right now is to have them available to everybody at regionals. We'll go through and make sure all of our counts are correct and everybody has what what they signed up for. And we'll go from there. Mr. Dave, how are you, sir? Appreciate you coming in as always. I know you had some news for us today, so we'll see. We'll stand by for that. Brent, what do you got?
Well, hold on here. My mic is screwed up here.
Oh, somehow it got slipped out by the quality control guys out on the East Coast. Somehow, yeah, I saw it. I wasn't supposed to. It was an accident, but I seen it. My bad, Dave. Brent's hiding around here. Any of the C4 guys going to make it? That's a good question for Dave. Any of the C4 guys coming out? I don't think that's the plan, but I don't want to speak for them. Hello to you. Mr. Super Mike is in the house.
Super Mike.
Dave's laughing at us as usual.
Always. He's so mean.
All right, so you want to what do you got? Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this is something that I did on my own with my own money because my speaker died and I needed to buy a new one. Well, so I went on and I went to buy a new speaker for myself, and I went ahead and upgraded to a better version than the current one I had. But so, and this is, I'm the only one that's seen this. I'm the only one that knows about it. So I bought myself a new speaker. It's a JBL Flip 5, but it has a little bit of custom to it. So I bought myself and custom made a Mid-States Collectors Club stereo speaker.
Now, the reason why we're doing this is...
Well, no, this is, I don't know. I think I might keep this one. We might have to have another one made. Because I really like this thing.
Well, here's the bottom line. Mr. Klein was playing some excellent tunage up here in Norfolk with us at the last show. So we're going to try to keep that thing going. And it broke up the quietness, so to speak, in the room.
Yeah.
So
I was good. I had mine in the truck that day, but mine has started going through a malfunctioning issue where it does not like to be playing unless it's plugged in. So I had to buy a new one for myself anyways. And I saw this was an option. So I went ahead and bought myself this. Now, if I decide at some point that I want to get rid of it and just get a regular plain one, what we'll do is we'll probably auction this off to the club. So
somebody's going to walk away with a cool speaker. Maybe someday down the road. We're not sure.
You know, it's Bluetooth. It's waterproof. They've upgraded the design. It's more sleek. It's really cool. And I mean, it's very, very cool.
We owe you enough money as it is, Dave. I don't.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, this one might have been yours, Dave.
It is, because it's straight off from the cover picture.
Well, I'll give you a couple of bucks. How about that?
And less grief about the Volvo.
Yeah, I like this because they were like nothing with copyrights, so the Hot Wheels logo gets blocked by the JBL logo, so it's not the copyright infringement. So, and it's just super cool. It smells absolutely horrible. I would tell you that right now. It smells like they just printed it. It's rough, but yeah. So if you want to do something like this or something like that, you know, you want to put your kids on it, you can do that. They'll let you customize them. So, but yeah, I thought this was a really cool idea.
Yeah, we needed tunes. Tunes are good, and what a way to make a statement, so to speak, by having that. All right, so let's get into it. You know, we were going to talk about retro entertainment tonight, and you know, we wanted to focus on a series because we haven't done that in a while, honestly. And so we want to give you guys something different tonight. So we're going to try to get back into the old school way of when the shows first started, and we're going to focus on a series tonight. And we're not going to get like super in depth, like break it down by sub-series or anything like that. We picked out a few cars to show off. We picked out a designer to talk about because most of his cars are in the retro entertainment. We're going to show off some card art. So we're going to get this thing started. So retro entertainment starts roughly around 2012, 2013. I believe it's 2013, actually.
12.
Okay. See, there I go. It was a close sister series to the pop culture, but this, you know, focuses on movie cars and television cars. Now, the main guy or the main designer, quote unquote, that his cars are used is Manson Cheung. All right, Manson is a 3D modeler who has been working with Mattel since 2000. He's best known for his sculpting work, as in translating a designer's idea and making it into a three-dimensional prototype that we see now being used more often, such as the Rockster prototype, those 3D printed cars. But he does do some his own design and sculpting on his own castings, and he usually likes to do the movie cars. His big thing, the 3 cars that he's most well known, I think, for, in my opinion, is the DeLorean. I think this is his personal favorite, actually.
Now, which version is that?
This is just the regular first movie one. No Mr. Fusion.
That's what I'm trying to find, bud. There it is.
The 1.21 gigawatts.
And there's the back. This is the Mr. Fusion version. It even says it down here on the card art. Whoops, Mr. Fusion. And he's got the little Mr. Fusion there in the back.
So that's one of his cars that I would say the 3 that he likes the most. Now, the time machines have been used in, I think, almost every way possible. They've used the version I showed. They used the fusion mode. They've done the hover mode. They've done the 55 with the white walls on it, and they've even done the railroad one. And they've been done multiple times. But that's his car. That's what he's really known for, along with doing the hoverboard. He did do that for the Mattel Creations, right?
Yes.
Okay. So with that, that's one of his first cars that he's really well known. So much so that if you were to go to his Facebook profile, and you'll see his profile picture, his background picture is him sitting in a mock-up of the time machine in the driver's seat. So I think that's really cool. That tells you how much he is into the DeLoreans. All right, Brent, your turn.
All right. I'm going to go with what I was holding up there at the very beginning of the show. Not many people may have saw it, but retro entertainment. It's not just about movies. Actually, I think this was a television show.
It was
a television show. They've done movies, they've done television. So this is one of my favorite ones, just because I really like the casting. But this is the BJ and the Bear Thunder Roller. Now, if you don't have this one and you've looked into it to buying one, you know how expensive they are. They're about $60-$70 a piece. And me being a Thunder Roller junkie, I bought a bunch of them. And who knows, I might even free one by the end of the hour. Ooh. So yeah, but not only did they do TV shows like that, this is a newer version, but this is a cartoon. This was Thundercats back from the 80s, but this one was just recently put out, and they just re-released it again. But you can see the major differences in the blister from the new stuff to the old stuff. It's a lot more heavy duty, and it's not just because it's a truck. I'll get the car up here. Just the packaging, it's bigger. The old packaging is taller, and the blisters are just way, way, way different. When you talk retro entertainment with anybody, this is what they're thinking about, the old stuff.
Now it
took up a lot of room on a peg.
Now it's just entertainment series. And the other thing that's really cool is about retro entertainment is that when it came out in 2012, 2013, it was the premier line of cars. I mean, these were the car culture of the day. And they've held at the $547 price point since their inception I'm mixing up series. So to see that they're A, still around, B, still at the same price point, tells you how popular they are. What else you got there, Brent?
Well, we got the Beverly Hills 90210 Mustang. And the neat thing about all these is most of them are premium. So they're metal body, metal base, Rail Riders. most of the time. This is an opening hood. Hey, Justin, what's going on? Mr. Nick. We're just talking some retro entertainment tonight. And right now we're talking about some TV shows. And if you're going to talk about a television show, I mean, you got to talk about the Mystery Machine. The Mystery Machine's been done how many times?
Let's see. I've got 1, 2, at least 3 or 4 times across pop culture and retro entertainment. In fact, that's the very first car.
Yeah.
That's the first retro. And here's the other thing, too. You can compare, show your Thunder Roller and your Scooby-Doo real quick. And you can compare. Look how different even those are at the bottom, how they've changed the packaging over time, too. I mean, that's within 2 years of each other, folks. And just how much that has changed. So Mattel put a lot of...
Right. Oh, yeah. I didn't even notice that. That doesn't have anything. It just has the movie film. And then this has the numbers.
So Mattel realized that this is going to be a popular line. And they also learned from Boulevard and from the Slick Rides that, wait a minute, we've got something good here. Let's continue it, which then leads on to car culture and Fast and Furious as they are right now. So what else you got, Brent?
We got the Simon & Simon 85 Chevy Camaro IROC Z. And now I wish I had the other one with me, but I don't know where it is. But they had a Dodge Power Wagon that went with this one. Yeah. That is my favorite Power Wagon. It's just a very stunning vehicle.
I didn't even grab that out. I know where I can see mine from here.
Yeah. Well, let's see here. On the TV show, you can't have. This is another early one here. We got the KITT Super Pursuit mode.
And that's the cool thing is like this car has been done a couple of times as
out
well.
Right now, in fact.
I think this is the third time that car has been done. That particular one, but they've also done KITT 2 or 3 times, and they've done car 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
What I would like to see is the Night Industries 2000 hauler with, say, KITT and Super Pursuit mode kit as well. Just something to think about, if you're listening.
We got a couple of TV shows here that some people have maybe never heard of, but this is another early one here. This is the Rapid Responder. You got Emergency.
That's another great show too, because again, that's the really cool thing is they picked things that weren't what everybody knew. And then they used castings that they had licensing for. And that's another, to me, that was, I think, the first time they used that casting, actually.
I think it was too. But yeah,
so
Close Encounters. I mean, come on, this is an 80s movie at its best. Or, this was a movie, wasn't it?
Yes, it was late 70s. This is that's Spielberg's he did that right after Jaws. Yes, you're right, Dave, because that is more of a GM front, and they drove Dodge pickups for that, or they used Dodge cabs for that.
Well, my last television show that I happen to have here in front of me is the Ferrari 365 GTS4 Daytona Spider from the iconic 80s television show Miami Vice. Miami Vice was a great show. I used to watch that when I was a kid. They really did a lot of cool cars. And when these cars came out, they didn't have the respect that they now have. I wouldn't even think of how many of these things have been drilled, repainted, thrown away for their tires. There's a lot of these kind of castings that went away because At the time, they were everywhere and they weren't worth that much. But you go flash forward to 2021. Like I said, I don't know if you guys have looked into this one, but I looked up some of this stuff last night and I was shocked that this thing's going for $70.
Yeah. I mean, some of the prices on some of these things are just unreal. And I don't know how many of those 85 IROCs I just obliterated just so I could get my hands on the Goodyear tires. You know, so I want to talk about the next car that Manson uses. And before we do that, we'll address what Dave said. Yes, they could have used the Little Red Express front end for that car. But I think in the interest of keeping everything cost effective, there's those quotes again, they use something that they already had on hand. Not technically correct, but good enough for government work. So the next car I want to talk about is if you have a problem and if you can find them and they're available, you get the A-Team. Now, this is another one, and there's the packaging for it. This is another one that Manson did, one of his designs. It is the gray and black with the red stripe. This is BA's van. It does have the brush guard on the front, and it's just an absolutely stunning car.
Spoiler on the top and the back.
Yep. It has been done in a mainline. And a lot of these cars were done as mainlines first, you know, before they got the Real Rider treatment to it. You know, this is, again, one of my favorite TV shows as growing up, along with Magnum PI, but I didn't even get that one out.
And before they perfected it, they used it in other series too.
Yes.
This is just an old Blackwall Supervan that mimics the paint, but it's not because it's a different style of vehicle. So they didn't have any trademarks for that.
See, there you go. And that was another thing too. In the early 80s, you know, Mattel and Hot Wheels in particular was near death's doorstep, so to speak. I mean, Larry Wood talks about this, that they were having meetings in the 70s where they were close to canceling it altogether, but thanks to Barbie's wonderful sales, we all get to hang around for it. So licensing that we see today that is commonplace was really rare. So like Darrell Waltrip's Mountain Dew Stalker, the Valvoline Thunderbird, those were really special cars back in the day. So that is the second Manson car that I wanted to show. The next thing I want, man, this thing's heavy. If you don't know what this, you better call Sheriff Buford T. Justice.
1975 Kenworth 900.
Yep, and this is obviously from Smokey and the Bandit.
Snowman's rig.
This is Snowman's rig, but there's no Fred.
No
Fred. One of my favorite cars. It's only been used a couple of times. In this, what was I say? Your favorite dude, Marvin the Martian, was the other time it's been used that I know of. Again, this is another car that I think could be easily adapted into a box set that they're putting out on the premium line, because you've got the Bandit, you've got the Snowman rig, and you just need
the cop car. It doesn't even have to. You could use the police cruiser from the Blackwall era and paint it brown, and you could have it, and then you could put like a blue Michigan one in there too. So,
and you know, you throw in the father and son's Cadillac in there, and you're good to go.
There you go.
Which Matchbox which Matchbox has done that Cadillac, and there you go. So these are just random thoughts that I'm having. What are you guys thinking? I mean, what do you guys feel about the retro entertainment series in general? We haven't asked any questions from you all tonight, so we're gonna let you guys hop in here and take a couple questions from y'all while we gather ourselves back up for another round of showing off cars.
This is another favorite of mine. Move some of these to the back here. I'm running out of room on the table.
You know, one of the cool things that I like about it is that they've stretched the gamut of cars, so to speak, and just cars in general, and whether it's been movies, TV shows, even gaming, you know, so to speak, too. And that's the one thing I wanted to get into. Yeah.
Minecraft.
That's the one thing we talk about. Well, you know, how have cars... that's a good one. We'll talk about that one. Yeah. See, there's another whole set. That's another 50 cars right there that they could do, you know?
Yeah.
And there's no duds in that. But how many, again, with that, how many of those do they have access to, licensing, all that cost stuff? But no, that's a good set there, Reagan. I would definitely go with that. Okay, Brent.
But now, yeah, to chime into what Reagan was saying, I mean, like in the remake version of it, you know, they had just Ferraris. Oh, wait, we don't have that license. They had Lamborghinis. I think they still got that one. They can do a black H1 Humvee. I don't know if... No,
the Mercedes.
Yeah.
The 56, 57 T-Birds.
Yeah, the Merc.
The Merc.
They could use a tail dragger for that.
Yeah,
they could definitely do it, but with using Eleanor, you know, the Mustang, the problem with that is the lady that actually owns the rights to that car she's not a nice person. There was a YouTuber that was building an off-road version of it, and apparently he got too close to the resemblance of the original, and she got her lawyers involved, and he lost the case, and he actually lost his car. They came in with a tow truck, and they took his car. He had spent probably 50 grand so far within the build. It was almost done, and they seized it, and he got nothing but a lawyer bill. So I could see that one being hard.
Okay, so Justin brings up a good point about the old packaging versus the new, saying how they don't match. Well, I think what happened there, that's a cost-saving method.
Yeah, because in the old one, this space here underneath the car, this is actually all cardboard. There's a cardboard, basically like a shelf display. And then if you look at the car close enough, it's actually encased in its own blister. It slides in and out. So it's like a two-piece. So you'll have the outer, and then you'll have the inner piece. So you've got two pieces of plastic. You've got the card, and then you've got the bottom piece here as well. And it actually seams all the way up here to the backside. And the new ones, they're just stuck on the blister.
See, and you know, they do have the film thing, the real film reels silhouetted or ghosted on the bottoms there to kind of give you that. You got to really look for it.
Yeah, no, it's there. It's just got a Hot Wheels logo with some kind of,
I think, you
know,
know,
or something.
If you look at all the big cars between all the premium lines that are out there, they're all the same now. So that means they don't have to get different boxes to ship. Their cost to print and do everything all becomes universal, which again then keeps our cost down to the $547 level.
Yeah. And to comment on what Doug said, and I wish I could have found them for tonight. They actually did make a couple of the cars from the American Graffiti. They made the Impala, and they made
the 32 Ford.
Yeah, the 32 Ford.
And the 58 and the 58 Edsel.
Yeah, it was the Edsel, the Impala, and I don't know if they made the Ford or not.
The yellow 32 Ford, the blue or teal 58 Edsel, and then a white with deep dish chrome 58 Impala.
And if you really want to have those American Graffiti cars, switch over to Johnny Lightning. Johnny Lightning did a lot of the American Graffiti cars. I have got a ton of them somewhere. I just couldn't find them for tonight. I was digging.
So, yeah, those are all good things that everybody's pointed up and brought up. Yeah, there's a lot of room yet for other cars to be done, in my opinion. I don't think they've. Obviously they haven't done the Dukes of Hazzard because, again, that's probably a rights thing. And
they can't make it the way it needs to be made anymore. But like another one that I want to see made is, in the old days, Optimus Prime was a cab over, and then in the later series, he was I think it was a Peterbilt, but I don't have a Peterbilt right in front of me. But he was a conventional, and now he's kind of like an Aeromax. But they've never done an Aeromax in Hot Wheels. Matchbox has done it, but I'd like to see some Hot Wheel style Optimus Prime, Transformer, G.I. Joe style, or not G.I. Joe's. G.I. Joe's would be cool too, but like with Transformers, they've done the Camaro. They could do that easily for Bumblebee.
They could do the Bug.
Yeah, they could do the Bug real easy. There's so many different cars that they could do. They did Grease Lightning from that. You say Grease Lightning?
Yes, they did.
Grease Lightning.
Yep.
You mean like that one, Dave?
Again, based off of a 46 Ford.
It's got a clear hood on it. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It's got a clear hood, and look at the fins on the back of that thing. This car was only made one time.
Yeah.
And they didn't want it to feel alone, so they went ahead and turned out the 48 Ford with it.
Honestly, that casting, the 4 or 5 times that it's been used, have produced 3 really, really cool cars. You've got that one,
the Karate one from the Back to the Future,
and the Karate Kid.
Yep, and there is a Mattel Dinner one as well. But since we're talking about Karate Kid and the 42, now wait a minute here.
See, and there's more cars that they could do from that movie too.
Yeah, and not only in the grease card, it's a 48 Ford. Now this one here is a later release. The first release of the car on this style series was the Karate Kid, and it was a 48 Ford Super Deluxe.
And see, in Back to the Future, it was a 46 Ford, but I'm sure there is enough closeness in there to keep that.
Got to show Justin a little bit of love here.
Yeah,
we got the old school super van.
If we could ever make a vehicle to take on the road with us, we've got to do that.
Well, I don't know.
That's a lot of money, though.
Yeah, but that would be super cool. Yep, there you go, Justin. There's your old school super van.
Yep, and again, you guys keep those comments rolling in. We want to hear from you. We'll keep rolling. So we've talked about. There's one group of cars we haven't talked about yet, and I want to save those for the end. I think you know what they are because it's the last one from Manson that we haven't talked about. So, moving later on in the series,
well, hold on. Before we do that, I want to finish off. I got 4 more to show, and then we'll go into the new stool stuff. So, this one would be a good one for Mr. Brian Klein, who has not graced us with his presence tonight. Hollywood Nights, Reagan, me and you. Yeah, we need to do that. That is one of my favorite movies.
I want to save that one. That's the one I want to save.
This one?
Yeah. I know. I'm sorry. I ruined your thunder.
Okay,
I wanted to save that one.
I've never seen the movie. I don't plan on ever seeing the movie, but I like the truck. 78 Bronco from Zoolander.
Yes, I agree with that one too, James. Yes, this is actually a pretty well done truck.
Yeah, but the movie was
garbage.
I don't know. I couldn't. I tried watching it at one point, and I was like, "This is stupid," and I can't watch it.
Mr. Shack, how are you tonight?
Hey, what's up, Ken? And James, as you said, Nash Bridges. Johnny Lightning did a lot of Nash Bridges cars. They've done a ton of Dukes of Hazzard stuff. They've done. There was a TV show VIP with Pamela Anderson. They did those.
They did Viper as well.
Yep, they did the Viper cars. They did the Wacky Racers from the cartoon series. Old Hanna-Barbera.
And they did Dune Buggy, or Speed Buggy, actually.
Speed Buggy.
They've done all the Mach 5 Mach Racers, and every Dukes of Hazzard car that I could think of.
And they've done everything from, they've done Cletus's tow, or not Cletus. Cooter's tow trucks, to Daisy's Jeep, to the Daytonas. They made them all in Zingers. I mean, Johnny Lightning really did a good effort. Beverly Hills Cop. You're right, Justin. And I actually have the Nova somewhere. I couldn't find it in order to bring it on here tonight. They did do the Nova for the Beverly Hills Cop.
And the 442, which those are the 2 best cars. But, if they would have done the dump truck or the cement truck from the second movie, that would have been cool.
Justin, the Stripes. Yep. I have that GMC motorhome somewhere.
Mr. Ken, we're doing great, man. We're looking forward to see you in a couple of weeks.
These are a couple of movie cars. We got the James Bond's Lotus Esprit S1 from the Spy Who Loved Me. You got the submarine version, which it actually has wheels on it, but they're useless. So it's just a cool car at that point. And then we have from the Only Live Twice, the Toyota 2000 GT Roadster in white. So, and this is a very cool car as well. And they've done a ton of the 007 cars. I just don't have them all out here.
And there's still a ton left to do. I mean, the DB5 has been the one that's been done the most. The cool thing about that car in real life is that it was never a convertible car. They literally, for the movie, chopped the top off of it, smoothed it all out, and made it what it was, which is why that's a one-and-done car in real life. I mean, God, we could keep going into this all night long. The cars that they have done, the cars that they should do. I know the Fall Guy truck's been mentioned once or twice, but
I'd like to see the Knight Rider Industries actual hauler.
Yep.
I mean, obviously it's not the right thing, but I like to see a semi truck with, or like a steering rig or something brought back.
The truck from Maximum Overdrive.
That one right there, man.
There's just so much more that they could do with this if they wanted to. Yeah. And they've moved into Forza, which is great, and all the cars that are in that game. And in fact, some of the cars from the from the series you can play those cars on the game as well. Let's see, they've done Gran Turismo as well.
Mm-hmm.
Again, both two very iconic racing games. And yeah, BJ and the Bear, Ken, a steering rig of that would be excellent.
Yep, that's as close as they got.
And I don't even know if that's the exact rig. I know it's a Kenworth cab over, but I don't know if
I don't think it didn't have this big of a sleeper on it.
Yeah. So one of the other things in here, what else? How do movie cars affect us today? I just keep thinking back to Steve McQueen and Bullitt. Now, that chase scene involving a 68 or 67, 68 fastback Mustang and a 68, 69 Dodge Charger in all black. I mean, that's where the modern movie car chase comes from. It's where everything goes back to, that was Fast and Furious before Fast and Furious.
Mm-hmm.
And again, there's two cars that need to be done.
Yeah.
And, how much of the designers today Manson in particular, who sits there and watch these movies as they were kids growing up, now are starting to go, well, maybe we need to make this car into what it is now. And I think that's how Retro Entertainment came out, or at least that's how I want to think that it came out or about. What do you think there, Brent?
Well, yeah, I mean, they've done so much, and the ties between television and movies and Hot Wheels, there's other stuff that we didn't show tonight. They did the Tim Allen Tool Time 34 Ford, and they did the lawnmower, which I have somewhere as well. And they actually have a little Tim that goes in the lawnmower, and there's a little toolbox that goes with it. I mean, they've done so many things, and there's so many cars out there that they could do Cannonball Run cars, they could do death race cars. As Reagan stated earlier, the Hollywood Nights cars. These are they've done the Footloose Bug before.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of some of the other movies that they've done.
Did the Friday Night Lights Sylvie, but they have not done the Ford from Varsity Blues.
That was I thought that was a Chevy.
I can't remember.
I
think it's a
Chevy
body.
But either way, I mean, the thing is the age that Mattel is aiming towards, I think, now is, I mean, with bringing out, stuff like the Thundercats, this is an 80s cartoon. If you weren't in the 80s, there's a good possibility you don't even know what the heck Thundercats are, but there's so many. Tommy Boy, thank you, Mr. Super Mike. That is one of my all-time favorite cars. I loved David Spade and Mr. Chris Farley. They were amazing in that movie. And I'd like to see the Malibu from Black Sheep come out. Reagan hitting it with again.
All right.
There's so many car movies that there's been over the existence of movies. I mean, sure, we're getting ready to get a Steamboat Mickey car. I'll buy one just because it's Steamboat Mickey, but that's the thing. It's like they've put so much effort onto some of these cars that I don't think are going to sell all that well, when you can go backwards. And I think you could bring some of the old time collectors back. And I think a lot of the younger crowd will see the cars from these older movies, and they'll not only buy the cars, they actually might go out and buy the movies and watch the movies. And then they're like, okay, this is cool. There's so many things that can be done.
Well, we all know that, and the next car I want to talk about, the Thelma and Louise Caddy. That's a good one, Mr. Aaron. That's another good one. But we all know this righteous dude. Yeah, everybody knows that he's a righteous dude.
Well, yeah.
And this is a Ferrari 250 California from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I think this was the only time they ever did this car, if I remember.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
But, I mean, just to see it go through the garage door and down the ravine was a sad way for that to go.
Yeah, that's a good point, Kent. Yeah, I mean, there's so many cars that are being done. I mean, there's a Chevelle group here out of Omaha that they have a humongous display that's been handmade that is got nothing but Chevelles, from Johnny's to Ertles to Matchbox, Hot Wheels. If it was a Chevelle, they have it in this case, and there's a lot of cool stuff in this case. Some of them, and I'm like, hey, can I buy that one off you? And they're like, no, nothing's for sale.
But
Blues Brothers. Yeah, there's another good one.
Blues Brothers is that's
Johnny
been
Lightning.
done by Johnny. They've done both the LTD and I think they did the Dodge Monaco as well.
Mm-hmm.
Last car that I have for tonight is probably my favorite NASCAR movie. It's an 80s movie. It is done by Hal Needham. This is another Burt Reynolds movie. This is from Stroker Ace. Good. There's 4 cars you could do out of this set right here. The 4 main cars in it. You got this one. You got the Xenon Oil, which was a black number 7. Aubrey James's car, which was a Buick Regal. And then they have this car pretty much naked, like it was a skinned chicken. You can't forget it. It's the fastest chicken in the South. I mean, this thing's so cool that Dale Earnhardt Jr. has a replica hood or a fender on his Dale Earnhardt Jr. download videos on,
Yeah, and Dave, you're right. I think Greenlight did do a Bullet series, and another series that Greenlight did that I haven't talked about tonight because I couldn't find them, but I was just going to bring it up anyways. Was Supernatural. It was a great TV show. It ran for like 15 years. They did the '67 4-door Impala. There's Mustangs. There's Ford pickups. There is. I don't know how many times you can do a black '67 Impala. But they have got that thing released like 35 times, and they keep changing it just a little bit, and they can throw it out again. And I have a pile of those because that was a great movie, and I enjoyed the out of it. So, but another car that do we want to talk about the one that I can't show, or?
Yeah, let's do that one now. We got to do the last Manson car.
Yep. So do you want to talk, or do you want me to show first?
You do it all on this one.
Well, I don't have the information in front of me.
Well, I just know that this is.
Yeah, Days of Thunder was they did by was Matchbox did Days of Thunder. They actually did haulers and everything that goes with them. So
the Days of Thunder cars, there's 2 versions of them. Let's put it that way. Plus the Hardee's cars that you could get in the little Happy Meals back in the day that were all plastic.
Very true.
I don't think those cars have ever been done justice, and they haven't done Ricky Bobby's cars yet either.
No, there's another one you could do.
Okay, so the last car for the night, I'll set it up. Brent will show it off, and he'll talk about it.
That's the last car, because I got a whole pile of cars over here. Yet, so.
Okay.
This is the last one we have a story to.
All right, so Manson Cheung, who is one of the main designers for Retro Entertainment, this is his third and probably the car that is. I know if Brian Klein was here, he'd be going nuts right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the Ectos, he's done all of them. That, as far as I know, anyway, he's done them all. To include the '59 Cadillacs, the one from the cartoon series, and both versions of the 81 hearse. I think it's an 80 or an 81. If you don't know, the hearse, the 59 Cadillacs have two different window styles in the rear. This is the one that is correct for the movie, right there. This is, to me, this is the most accurate one that's been done because it did have the white walls. I'm not a big fan of the second release of that car because it has the 4-spoke slotted ones, the deep dish slotted ones. That's more of a muscle car, drag car type thing. But, I think those are the three cars we featured on Manson tonight, the DeLorean, the A-Team van, and the Ecto. This is by far, the Ecto, I think, that's his baby. Mm-hmm. That's his car. And to see it be used both as a mainline and now in retro entertainment, the only version of that car they have not done is when Dan Aykroyd's character Ray Stantz brings it into the shop and Venkman's going, "What's this?" So if you want to show that car off a little bit more, go for it, Brent. It has gone through 3 packaging releases as well. That's the original.
No, Ken. Ken, I will not be ripping this one. Not this one tonight. That's for sure. Oh, I gotta make sure I got a second one of this before I liberate this one.
So, really, really cool stuff. What else you got to show us off tonight?
Well, one thing we have yet to talk about tonight is probably the thing that has been done the absolute most as far as retro entertainment or current entertainment cars.
Okay.
And it all started with a little movie called Fast and Furious. This is the very first one. This one was released in 2013. That's Dom's Charger RT. I mean, how many times can you review this car? I think we've seen this thing like 15 times. But with the Fast and Furious series, and again, this is another movie that has got so many potential for cars that could be remade, but they haven't done it yet.
I think the Donut Media guy said that there was 100 cars that they counted that were featured in the movie in some way, shape, or form, whether they were driven or on a lift or sitting in the background, but they got more than like 5 seconds of screen time.
Yeah, and I actually, the guy that came up with the original design for Brian's Eclipse, he's actually the original owner of it. His name's Craig Lieberman on YouTube. If you want to go check him out, he does he talks about a lot of the Fast and Furious movies and how many cars they made of certain ones. There's Hero 1, there's Hero 2, there's Stunt 1, Stunt 2. I mean, they make like at least 15 of every one of these movie cars for the movie. And so when it comes to, I mean, I got 6 more sitting here off to the side that are newer ones from the newer movies, but there's so many of the older ones that they still need to make that it's when we've had this conversation before, Letty's, some of Letty's cars don't get a lot of love, but like this is from the brand new Fast 9 movie. This is the Dodge Charger. Almost probably everybody in here has probably got one of these. Engine in the back. It's just a really, really cool casting. Does not work well with my camera here, but this is a new style. And they've got Grand Nationals and Mustangs, but that's the thing with this new set is there was a lot of Fast 9 cars. So, and the movie doesn't come out until tomorrow, so not a lot of people have had a chance to see it. Here's another Fast 9, and this is a brand new casting as the Charger was. You got the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. This is the first time this thing's ever been done.
It's been featured in the teaser trailers for it. I think Tyrese Gibson's character Roman drives up in it with somebody. But
Furious 7.
Yep.
You got the HW's Lycan Hypersport.
That car has
if I remember correctly, it's not even a real car.
There's some questions about whether or not this car will even run.
Exist.
It supposedly exists. I mean, it's about as mysterious as that one.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, this is affectionately known as Big Bird, but it is an R33 Skyline. And, they did the movie in LA, and supposedly it found its way up to Wisconsin at some point, where it met the Crusher because it was not grandfathered.
Yeah. I agree, Ken. I have seen, I don't know, at least 100 different customs of the 64 Impala from Up in Smoke, and the Animal House Lincoln would be a good one as well.
I mean, speaking of 6.4 Impalas, I would like to see the one from Boys in the Hood. That would be cool too.
But see, that's a convertible, so then they got to chop the top off. So, and I don't think there's ever been a convertible 64 from Mattel.
Well, you can break ground.
This is true.
And they've already got the lowrider stuff in there, so.
Yep. We got the 70 AAR CUDA from Fast 6, And some of these cars, when they came out, I was like, I actually had to go look them up to see if they were actually used in the movies. Because there's some of them I've never even seen. But I know this was one of them. Let's see here. I got technically I got 3 more. We got an 03 Honda NSX Type R from Fast 5. Like, this was only used for like a minute and a half in the first, and in the first opening 2 minutes. You only saw this car for literally a second, and they made it into a Hot Wheel.
Yeah, but that car is iconic.
Well, I understand that. I'm not disagreeing with you. But then we got, from Too Fast, Too Furious, you got Miss Sookie's Honda S2000, but hers in the movie was a convertible. And a neat story about her, when she was in the movie, she was 14 years old, had never driven a car, and had never driven a stick shift. She learned how to drive stick on this car.
In fact, Michelle Rodriguez didn't even have a license.
Yep, she didn't have a license, and I don't think she knew how to drive stick either.
Now, of the Fast and Furious cars that haven't been made yet, obviously to me, the Veil side is the one car that's got to get done at some point.
Which one's that?
That's Han's orange and black RX-7 that gets...
Gotcha. And then this is the last one I have in front of me, and this is the Nissan Skyline GTR BCNR33 from the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift Series.
I like that car.
Yeah.
That car's cute.
If you're keeping track, check the rims out.
Yep, well-known wheel variations.
And this is the harder one to find, apparently. Even though.
Yeah.
I got 2 of them. Because I didn't know about the wheel variations. I like to buy cars in 2 if I really like them. So I bought 2 of the same hard-to-find wheel variations.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what I got tonight for the Fast and Furious.
Yeah, you're right, Dave.
Thousands more.
The Jensen's got to get done, along with the GTX and the Camaro from Too Fast, Too Furious. Yeah. Both of those cars have to get done. So, if you're going to have another round, we've just named 4 cars that are must-be-done cars, and I'm sure there's a couple more.
You had
that need to get done. Roman's demo 70 money.
Yeah, the 70 money would be nice, and then not to mention there's the Lambo that he drove on the ice. There is the Eclipse that he used in Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah, that's another one that's got.
There's so many cars that it's unheard of how many you could do.
I mean, and they have an Eclipse convertible already.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've retired it or not. It may need a retool. But I mean, God, how Fast and Furious has just affected movies and collecting. And I mean, I knew they had the mainline series, but we all knew that they had to be done as premium Real Rider cars because they didn't do them justice. I mean,
yeah.
Once they did the Gran Torino, I think that's one of the most underrated cars in there. I mean,
and they did a lot of the mainline versions of Fast and Furious as well. Not all premium versions, but they've done a lot in just regular mainline versions.
Yeah, and some of them haven't crossed over yet. I think the Superbird, the dark maroon Superbird, hasn't come over, or Daytona.
Nope,
that hasn't come over yet. We haven't seen some of the chase cars that were used in was it Fast 5. We haven't seen the 3 Dodge Chargers from the Brazil movie.
I'd like to see the trucks that they use to steal the fuel with down in Brazil. The double axle 67 C10 and the square body with the dualies on the back.
Yep.
I mean, come on, Mattel, listen to us, please.
Yeah, Dave brings up a good point, and that's probably what a lot of this is. It's licensing for the Yanko and the Jensen. But if they don't come out with 3 black Hondas and a semi truck and trailer, we're going to have issues because they just retooled that Civic to make it look more
and they released a black Civic. So now they just need to wheel swap it, put Rail Riders on it, black out all the windows, and put some kind of semi truck in the loop.
Yep.
And I think they need to dust off a steering rig. You know, I mean, can you imagine if they dropped the steering rig? I mean, I understand they're complicated and they're not cheap, but if you're putting them in the $25 box, you know, you're going to make some money on that stuff. So,
yep, the flip car would be cool as well.
Yeah.
That's another one. Here you want to talk about retro entertainment cars and a series that hasn't been done yet. Johnny's done them, but they didn't even use the right cars. They need to do the last of the VA Interceptors. You know, Mad Max. That's a must do.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it's got to do that because that's been done a couple of times where they've dropped the suspension on those cars and slid them underneath. I think it's been done at least 2 or 3 times.
At least 3 times I can think of.
Because they did it in the first movie, they did it in the second movie, and I think they did it with one of Brian's Skylines in like the 5th or 6th movie or something like that.
Yeah.
Or the
there's Hobbs' big old military MRAP, and we could literally sit here and talk about this all night.
So again, anything else you guys got for us? Dave, are we still on schedule for a Monday ship?
Yes, we should keep Dave up since I got woke up at 6 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
Hooper's Trans Am. There you go, Aaron. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. I mean,
Dave probably left us because he's probably like, oh, I'm just going to get out of here.
But yeah, Aaron, that's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah. I mean, oh, boo-hoo. Well, that doesn't help, Dave.
Well, I think we can do that. I mean, they haven't done anything from the Andy Griffith Show. I mean,
No.
You could do something like that. I mean, there's plenty of police cars that you could do.
Yep. As of right now, yes.
Okay, so there you heard it, folks. It looks like we're still on target for a Monday ship date. So
now I have a question for the group. This is going to be one or the other. Do you want 1 or 3? 1 or 3? Vote now. 1 or 3? Black Sheep cop car. Yes, Reagan. Yeah, that Malibu from the Black Sheep is just as good as Tommy Boy in my opinion.
Yes, and we got to make that put up there. The damage discussion.
Okay. We got 1 vote for 3. We got 2 votes for 3. Another vote for 3. And the fun thing is no one knows what it means, 1 or 3. So
Dave says 3. I think the consensus is 3.
Both.
Reagan D'd his way out.
Well, it looks like 3 is definitely going to be the winner. Okay, so then I'm going to be ripping open 3 cars tonight. But no one wanted me to do 1.
Miss Deb, how are you? She popped in for the first time tonight.
Hi, Deb. And just so you guys know, this was number 1. So he will live for another day. So I might have to do this again next time. And we'll have to figure out another.
Stacy says 10.
Now, technically, I mean, I guess I could technically do 3, but I'm not gonna. yeah, this is what hoarding in the old days looked like. If you like Thunder Rollers and they were on a peg, you bought 3 of them.
I never found that one. That was one I never found.
I got 3 of them. It took me a while, but all right. So the 3. Let's see here. Should we start 4? Well, we got 3, 4, and 5. So we'll go with number 3 first. We got the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk.
Boo.
Like I said, man, 1 or 3. You guys wanted 3, so there's number 3.
Yep, Stacy, that Thunder Roller was definitely hard to find. I'm still waiting for my white Austin Mini. Well, not the white one. The red one.
Roller. Number 2. W Motors Lycan Hypersport.
Boo. That is not. I like the wheels on that. The wheels are nice on that one.
Yeah, the new 10 spokes. They're really sharp.
They're not as cool as the new 5 spokes that are on that Trailhawk. I think the Trailhawk is the winner of that.
And in the new exotic set that's coming out, the Lamborghini has these wheels on it in chrome.
Oh.
And then the last one, number 4, is the Dodge Charger.
We've already done that.
I don't care. You've done it. I haven't done it. I'm ripping it because I want to look at the dang thing out of the plastic. So, because I want to look at that engine and all of it's happening. Oh, that's a hurtful thing to see.
Uh-oh, you got some rub.
I got a can't hate the world rub on the rear quarter.
Oh.
That sucks.
That car needs to go to the scrapyard.
Well, it'll just be displayed on the drive. When I get my cases built, and it's got a rub on the other side too.
That
on
wouldn't
the front,
pass.
it's got the front fender too.
That wouldn't pass quality control at my house.
No, but it'll go in the case, and all you'll see is the passenger side. But that's so cool.
I still love how they use the 68 tail lights.
Yep.
The only time they had round tail lights.
Oh, it's a good roller though.
That
No
car is
wobble at
heavy,
all.
though. That car is heavy. Okay, well, I really don't have anything tonight because I done ripped mine a long time ago.
Wheel donor. No, Nick. I think I'll keep them. For my wheel donors, I'm gonna be going online and buying in bulk, just because I don't really want to spend $6 a car and then drill a whole bunch of stuff out. So
I could open that, but that doesn't really fit tonight's theme. So
no, it does not. So don't, or do.
I'm not.
I don't really care. It's up to
all right,
you, really.
so that's all we got for tonight. Thank you so much for y'all hopping in and participating. Don't forget Sunday in Norfolk, starting at 9 a.m. at Lutheran High Northeast, 2010 North 37th Street. We are having the Northeast Nebraska Farm Toy Show. That's all I got for that. Regionals is less than 3 weeks away. Next show
3
in
weeks.
Ashland is going to be in September, and August 1st will be in Norfolk again at the Knights of Columbus Hall, and who knows, we might have a venue change coming up for Norfolk.
Oh, and in case you joined in late, where'd it go? There it is.
The date for that, I think. Oh yeah, let's show that off again.
Got to show off the speaker one more time. New JBL speaker for the show that I brought with my own personal money. So it's going to be going to a campfire this weekend. There's now a Mid-States Radio.
Let's see.
In case you missed it, I had this personally made, and I thought it was really cool. So,
as of right now, the date is set for September 12th in Ashland. But that might change because we have one of our members who would like to participate but may not be able to. But we're looking at the 19th. But it's a packed week because you all have your show the 18th in Des Moines. So
we're going to play around with the dates on that one yet, and we're going to figure it out. We'll get it posted as soon as we can.
Yep.
We don't want everybody to miss out on anything. So,
but that's all I got for tonight. Thanks so much, guys. We appreciate everything. Thanks for everybody who popped in, commented, made fun of us.
Yeah.
Murph appreciates you. And we'll see you all this Sunday for those that are coming out, and we'll see you in regionals in about less than 3 weeks. All right, Stacy. Yeah, we'll let you know. We want you to come over too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Good night, everyone.